All right, Shalom,
Wow.
and welcome to another class session. This is GMS St. Louis Lions Camp, and this evening we're going to dive into a little bit of history dealing with Esau and his wicked medical programs and using Jake really as a guinea pig, right, to bring about all their various medical lies, if you will, and we'll be careful tonight. Um, but we're going to bring forth some scriptures that prove that Esau is nothing but a liar and a physician of no value. And we're going to take a quick look at, yeah, Slakia. Let's give our praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, shalom to the hopeful elect, Slakia. Just sometimes your brain get ahead of your mouth. Okay, so Salakia for that. So now let's get ahead here to the scripture. I'm gonna read the first scripture, which will be Deuteronomy 33:27, and it reads, "The eternal power is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms, and he shall thrust out the enemy from before thee, and shall say, destroy them. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Also his heavens shall drop down dew. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord Yahweh, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places," right? So there is a time that's coming where the Lord will redeem us and we will gain everything back that these liars have stolen from us. And in particular, in this case, we're talking about a study that was done, and this was a made-for-TV movie back in the 90s. Many brothers may remember this, known as the Miss Evers Boys, right? So as we get into this lesson, if you've never seen this, it's a good little movie to watch. Okay, and it goes into the experiment that Esau had with the, I guess you would say, the impoverished Negroes in the South. Okay, where they shot them up with syphilis. Okay, so here at the top it says Miss Evers Boys is an American made-for-television drama starring Alfred Woodard and Lawrence Fishburne, right, that first aired on February 22nd, 1997, and is based on a true story of the 4-decade-long Tuskegee syphilis study. It was directed by Joseph Sargent and adapted by Walter Bernstein. Okay, you know what that name is. Okay, from the 1992 stage play of the same name, written by David Fieldshut. Okay, another one. All right. It received 12 nominations for the 1997 Primetime Emmy Awards, ultimately winning 5, including Outstanding Television Movie. And it was a good movie. All right, because prior to that, I had never heard of the study. All right, but I remember it when it came out. So let's look at the plot a little bit. We won't read all of it, but just to give you an idea for those who don't know, the film tells the story of a medical study with covert goals organized by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, which today they still have that department, and they also have what's called the CDC. Okay, conducted on poor African American men, as it says, in the years 1932 to 1972. All right, so that's what, 40 years. Okay, at Tuskegee University, designed to study the effects of untreated syphilis. The story is told from the perspective of the small town nurse Eunice Evers, okay, who is well aware of the lack of treatment but feels her role is to console the involved men, many of whom are her close friends, and she was just used, okay, by the men and the government for health and human services, okay. So you can look into that. But as you can see, the whole premise of their study was to study um, the effects of syphilis, okay, on the poor, particularly the men. All right, Jake, in the South in Alabama. Okay, so here we see it says the Botanica Tuskegee Syphilis Study, American Medical Research Project, that earned notoriety for its unethical experimentation on African American patients in the rural South. Okay, so it was unethical and it was an experimentation. Okay, because they did try to say that syphilis was running rampant during that time in the 30s. Okay, in the South. Right, that was their premise for going down there to so-called do a study. All right. Um, It goes on to say the project, which was conducted by the U.S. Public Health Service from 1932 to 72, examined the natural course of untreated syphilis in African American men. The research was intended to test whether syphilis could cause cardiovascular damage more often than neurological damage, and to determine if the natural course of syphilis in black men was significantly different from that in whites. You see. All right. So it goes on and it says what? In order to recruit participants for the study, the PHS enlisted the support of the prestigious Tuskegee Institute, now Tuskegee University, located in Macon County, Alabama. A group of 399 infected patients and 201 uninfected controlled patients were recruited for the program. The subjects are all impoverished sharecroppers of Macon County. The original study was scheduled to last only 6 to 9 months, and it went on for 40 years. Okay. Brother Rob, let's go over to Job. And this shows you the villainous attitude that Esau has against his brother. And it's Job 13:1.
It says, Book of Job 13, it says, Lo, mine eye have seen all this, my ear have heard and understood. What ye know, the same do I know also. I am not inferior unto you. Surely I will speak to the Almighty, and I desire to reason with Yahweh. When ye are porters of lies, ye are physicians of no
That's
value.
right. We'll stop right there briefly. Okay. But ye are forgers of lies. So they lied their way into these people's lives, right? Because they had subjects that did have it and those that did not. Okay. But they wanted to go into their madness of how it was going to affect those that did have it and didn't give them any treatment. So let's go into the word right here of physician, which is Rapa'a, Rapa'a, if I'm correct on that. And it says to heal, to make healthful, right? To heal. All right, but they went as wicked so-called physicians, right? They're physicians of no value. They didn't heal anybody, as you'll see. Okay. Okay, brother. Let's go on to the 5th verse.
Okay, it says, Oh, that ye would altogether hold your peace, and that it should be your wisdom. Hear now my reasoning, and hearken to the pleading of my lips. Will ye speak wickedly for Yahweh, and talk deceitfully for him? Will ye accept his person? Will ye contend for Yahweh? Is it good that he should search you out? Or as one man mocketh another, do ye so mock him? He will surely reprove you if ye do secretly accept persons. Shall not his excellency make you afraid, and his dread fall upon you? Your remembrances are like unto ashes, your bodies to the bodies of clay.
Yeah, see, so they're just a man, okay? And they have the idea that they're on the level of the Most High, okay? Now we'll read a little bit of this in Wikipedia. and it goes into the study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male. Okay, and like I said, we're not going to read all of this, but to show you where it is, you can go out there and find it yourself in Wikipedia. Okay, um, let's see here. I wanted to get something out of this so I can. Yeah. The men were initially told that the experiment was only going to last 6 months, but it extended to 40 years. After funding for treatment was lost, the study was continued without informing the men that they would never be treated. So like none of the infected men were treated with penicillin, despite the fact that by 1947 the antibiotic was widely available and had become the standard treatment for syphilis. Right, so they had a cure for it. They shot them up with it and had a cure for it, but didn't use it. Okay.
When did it start?
This started in 1932. Okay, but in 1947 we had the advent of penicillin. Okay, and so they didn't use it from the time that they had it in 1947 all the way up to 1972. Okay. So now let's go over and we'll watch this. This will be about 12 minutes long, and we'll watch a little bit of this documentary here. Okay, and this just goes to show you. See, this devil has never changed. You know, he's always hated his brother. Is it? What? Can I make this bigger?
Yeah, that one. The second one next to it. You ready to go after enjoy your blood?
I ready to enough.
Anderson Sinclair is one of the few remaining survivors of the Tuskegee study. As many as 100 of the participants are thought to have died of their untreated syphilis. Sinclair and the other survivors now receive free health care for the rest of their lives, paid for by the U.S. government. But the experiment in which he took part continues to haunt the American medical establishment.
5 minutes, okay? Go ahead, relax, you finish.
For 7 years, I went around trying to throw the story over the transom of some newspaper reporter or some television person who would talk about it, who would make some inquiry at least. I talked to law professors, I talked to friends who were reporters. I was unable to get anyone interested until the second time I told a friend who was a reporter over dinner what I knew. And she, by then, knew me well enough to think about it. Are you sure? Did this happen? I mean, how do you know it happened? Do you have any documentation? I said, yes, I've got this much documentation on it. I mean, Xeroxes of the actual reports, where they were published, the dates and everything. She asked to see it, and that was the end of the silence.
And this is what they tricked them into believing. Okay, when the nurse comes in, Miss Eunice Evers is the one who convinced these sharecroppers, convinced Jake that he had quote unquote bad blood. If you would, you can go ahead and get that Obadiah for me.
Mm-hmm. This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 6. How are the things of
So you got that.
Mm-hmm.
That's bullshit.
Come on, go ahead, bro.
Book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Right, so we're in that age where everything is being brought out against them, especially in this truth. We're able to pull these scriptures out. Before, at least I'll speak for myself, before coming into the truth, I knew nothing about these scriptures, that would point the finger at who this devil really is. Okay, we come up at a time where you listen to your parents and you listen to your grandparents and you think that they know better, and in which they did not have the truth. Okay, so we'll go on from here.
In 1932, 400 black men in Alabama were screened out and offered free medical treatment for what they were told was bad blood. In fact, they had syphilis, and the government wanted to see what happens when syphilis goes untreated.
Did they tell you you had syphilis?
Nothing like that. Blood, draw my blood. We'll see you next time. That's it. That's it.
The men had no idea they were being used as guinea pigs in an experiment designed to follow them to their deaths. Immediately after the story broke in 1972, a congressional investigation began. The first decision was to stop the experiment, but no one was ever prosecuted. No doctor was ever reprimanded. And to this day, the U.S. government has refused to condemn the experiment.
I have now strong feelings that more should have been done, and that perhaps we should have had an American Nuremberg trial of the conduct of the Tuskegee experiment.
We have no compunction about sending our youth away to war when it's in the national interest. And in terms of syphilis, was the leading cause of infant maternal mortality, leading single cause of admission to mental hospitals, and the other things. So it was in the national interest to get the information so that you could provide the greatest protection for the entire community, black and white.
Last year, over 60,000 babies were born with syphilis. And in the United States alone, more than 1 million syphilis cases were reported. Only a small fraction of these cases ever completed treatment.
The Tuskegee study began with the best intentions. For federal health officials, syphilis was a national emergency.
They went through the South doing blood surveys, and they were just appalled at the number of positives they had. It was an epidemic. I mean, it was much like, well, I hate to use the term AIDS, but it spread like wildfire, and they were surprised to find how many positives they had.
The surveys were performed by mobile units of the U.S. Public Health Service in the late 1920s and partially financed by a private foundation called the Rosenwald Fund. But the treatment at that time, injections of arsenic and bismuth, was unreliable and expensive. After the Depression began in 1930, the Rosenwald Fund could no longer pay for the second part of the project, bringing treatment to the infected rural population. The Public Health Service planned to cancel the project, but Dr. Tolliver Clark, director of the Venereal Disease Division, wanted to salvage something from the work done so far. He designed a short-term study to observe the natural course of untreated syphilis in black men.
You couldn't get a group of people with that high incidence of positive serologies in the whites like we had here, and that were so isolated and was so ideally suited for the type of follow-up we wanted. It was just an accident that little hunk of Tuskegee was available. But I don't think it was racist.
At the time, it was thought that...
I don't believe that, buddy. All right, we can look and see right through what that so-called white coat doctor is talking about, brother. Why did I tell you to get something? I'm sorry.
Job 15 and 31.
Yeah, if you don't mind, read that to 35. Let me get over.
God.
And it pisses you off because you see, you see that they just constantly use us as like we farm animals. You know what I mean?
And it seemed like it was just, which they already knew what it would do.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
It was just an excuse to kill us. So
Yep.
keep our population down and to keep us oppressed and dead.
Okay,
This
brother.
is Job 15:31. Let not him that is deceived trust in vanity, for vanity shall be his recompense. It shall be accomplished before his time, and his branch shall not be green. He shall shake off his unripe grape as the vine, and cast off his flower as the olive. For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of robbery. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit.
That's right. They're always up to mischief, always up to no good, and they don't bring anything good. You know, you always have to look at them, as the old people used to say, with a jaundiced eye. You know, you always have to keep your eye on these people, all right, on Esau, because he's always up to no good. Okay, filled with deceit, and as it goes on to say, you know, these men were promised medical treatment, you know, and didn't get any. You know, they in fact got, you know, got the worst end of it because they let them die, you know, instead of treating them.
That blacks reacted to the disease differently than whites. Clark and his colleagues believed that over 6 months or a year, the study would help them develop a more effective cure. The place chosen for the experiment was the rural area around the town of Tuskegee in Macon County, Alabama. The area had one of the highest rates of syphilis in the country. This also reinforced the opinion of many doctors that syphilis was a black disease. Its prevalence in the black community was often held up as proof of physical and moral inferiority.
White doctors in the 1920s were on a crusade. They felt that syphilis was rampant in the black community. Their estimates would run as high as 95% of all blacks are syphilitic. They saw in syphilis in the black community a threat to the white community because they feared that maids would come in and infect people, or that barbers would infect them. So they made syphilis a kind of holy war of theirs in the 1920s.
Do you have any idea why it is more prevalent among the black community?
Yeah, they're not as cautious.
Oh my God. You get studying
You get Psalm 7, brother.
They're not as cautious.
Yeah, you know, Jake can't keep his stuff in his pants, in other words, you know, and you would have to think that they understood that these men were married, you know, or had girlfriends or whatever the case, and they would in fact infect them, you know.
Can I start in verse 9?
Kind
Alright, okay. This is Psalms chapter 7, starting verse 9. Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just. For the righteous, Yahweh trieth hearts and reins. My defense is of the Most High, which saveth upright in heart. The Most High judges the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood. He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate.
Right, and so, you know, we in this day and age, in this era, we see that they're fallen under the curses now, and they've lost thousands upon thousands of their own children and grandchildren to opioids. You see, so the Lord is not slack concerning His promise. He's going to bring about everything that He prophesied, you know, through His men. Okay, that these devils are not going to get away, but this just goes to show you, this pulls the veil back on everything concerning at least syphilis it pulls the veil
And
back on.
when you get a bunch of people who don't have much else, they do an awful lot of fornicating, and this is one of their things. And they don't have the knowledge and the information that some of the white people have about protection and whatnot. They didn't then. They even now they don't have it as well.
You hear the pride in
some
them.
white people do.
Bad Blood will return in a moment. You're on A&E. The doctors in charge of the Tuskegee syphilis study wanted to see the effects of unchecked syphilis in their human guinea pigs, so it was essential that the subjects not know that they were infected. In autumn 1932, leaflets were circulated among the black population in Macon County, inviting people to come for free treatment. In fact, they were given none. Instead, blood tests were taken, and 400 black men with syphilis were recruited to the study. A local nurse, Eunice Rivers, was hired to bring the men in for their periodic examinations.
We knew, and all the doctors knew in this area, that these people were not supposed to have gotten any treatment. Now, the doctors would have maybe a patient was complaining of something else. They always had a little package in their car, in their bags, that they would give this patient, you know.
Well, now, they always gave out that pink medicine, didn't they?
Yeah, they just loved that pink medicine.
Pink medicine with pink aspirin.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Just help with everyday pain.
Everyday pains. This is true.
She was very nice and friendly, had a lot of fun. But she was very nice.
Did you trust her?
Trust. Yeah, I had a lot of confidence in her. Sure did.
Well, you couldn't buy medicine. You couldn't get a doctor. And you get free medicine. That's what we signed up to get, free medicine. Medicine wouldn't cost you anything. And they gave everybody a thing about it. I look like me, I should have woke up before I did. And think about it, everybody didn't have the same complaint, but everybody got the same medicine, same liquid, and the same pill, and the same capsule.
Instead of treatment for syphilis, the men were given aspirins and tonics. They were told this would cure them. Anderson Sinclair is one of the few living survivors of the experiment. He is 87 years old. In 1932, he and the other men recruited for the study were in the latent stages of syphilis, a non-infectious period when there are no visible symptoms. The sons and grandsons of slaves, and barely educated, the men were unaware that over a period of years the disease attacks and destroys the internal organs of the body, particularly the heart, the brain, and the spinal cord. Without treatment, the majority would develop terrible late complications, and many would eventually die of the disease.
They were pitiful. And I recall one man, I've forgotten what his name is now, but that had all of this chest, one side eroded. That's what the doctors told me it was. And that he had these attacks quite often, and I'd go running, bring him in. They had told me in one of the studies, don't let him die at home. Bring him in so we can open him up and see. And he lived about 2 years with this thing.
Nobody knew what we were being treated for. I was with it from start to finish. And lived through it, thank God. And I never missed an appointment, never missed a date. I really don't know what made them do it. But I just assumed they did it because they were in authority and they had that power.
And you heard Jay. And we'll stop it right there. You can go out and watch this if you like, okay? But like he said, they were in authority, okay? They had power to do it, okay? Brother Rob, if you would, Isaiah 10. 1 and 2.
Look at Isaiah chapter 10. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless."
And that's exactly what happened. Okay, because they prescribed something with grievousness because they went and they got funding for it, right? To use these men and their whole families as guinea pigs, because many of these men died from it, which left what? Widows and children, okay, in which the government didn't help them, okay, you know, because when the man died, that was the end of the study for him, you know, so there was nothing coming for the family, you see. Brother Karatazar, would you get 1 Timothy 6 and 20? Okay, and we'll end off on this one, and then any precepts you brothers got, we'll bring them out.
So 1 Timothy 6 and
20. Yep.
Mm-hmm. This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings, and oppositions of science falsely, oppositions of science falsely, so called.
Right, and that's how they typically use the people. All right, saying that it's science, and we saw that 3 years ago. Okay, where a lot of Jakes, had trust in the system. Go ahead, Brother Johnson.
And I got this in the NLT of that same verse.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason it says, Timothy, guard what Yahweh has entrusted to you, avoid godless, foolish discussions with those who oppose you with their so-called knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go into that word science, it just means knowledge. Yeah. And this devil don't know shit but wickedness.
Right. So I mean, I just wanted to kind of go into that just a little bit. Again, we're shining this light so bright on Esau and Edom and their wickedness, and that they are the wicked, with a capital THE. Okay. All right. So, any brothers got any precepts, then we can go ahead and get to that. Go ahead, brother.
Micah 2. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is lit, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand."
Right.
And that's all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It made me think of the movie John Q, where, Denzel, he went through all the struggle doing what he did, only to find out while he's in the heat that one of the guys was like, "Well, I can tell you something, the insurance you got, they get paid not to search for certain things." So he got blown away. He said, "You mean to tell me they could have been found this out and they didn't?" And he got that revelation, and that's what the whole movie is about, exposing the corruption in medicine and how people, doctors and stuff, are paid not to look for things or whatever, save on costs or whatever. It's like the brother said, it's the same devil. He ain't never changed.
Right.
And that's gotta suck to know for 40 years you've been treated, so-called treated, only to find out in the end that they had a cure, and then you just be getting placebo the whole time, and they were just studying your death. Studying the effects the whole time. And then they wonder why Jake don't want to go see doctors.
Right.
They wonder why Jake has a fear of going to see the physician. So, they'll try to blame Jake. Well, you ain't come see the doctor. You don't know why Jake don't want to go see no goddamn doctor. People are afraid because they don't know what to expect. You get misdiagnosis, all the other stuff, more experimentation, And then, I don't know, I know it said 1990. When I interviewed them doctors, that was the same time, them doctors was open with it.
Right.
They didn't get arrested. Nobody got arrested. They basically said, well, this is what we wanted to do. We saw an opportunity, damn it, and we took it.
Yeah.
Basically,
Go ahead, brother.
and basically, you damn devils got away with murder now. That's basically murder.
Right. And the thing of it too, if I can add, is not only did they do that and not treat the mean, but wanted to see how they would die and then open them up to see what happened to their organs. You know. So this devil, man, like we were speaking before we started rolling the camera. Got a lot to pay for, and there's no way to get out of it.
I mean, just a liar, like the scripture brought up. We lied to them from start to finish.
Yep.
They bad blood. You know what I'm saying? That's bullshit right there. You getting placebo, they're treating you, and then lo and behold, they're gonna get the black woman.
Yep.
Reel them in already.
Yeah, and Jake, it was interviewing him, and the person that was interviewing asked, did you trust him? He said, oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So you can't trust Eve, and you most definitely can't trust the so-called white man.
Match made in hell.
Match made in hell. Alright, but I got a precept if I may.
Okay. Go ahead, brother.
Ecclesiastes 12.
They wonder why Jake don't want to go see no damn doctor. You know what I'm saying?
And they was basically just blaming it on, like, bro, whites just protect themselves. You know what I'm saying? So, like, here it is, you set the trap, and then you make fun of Jake when he falls into the trap. You know, like, you shouldn't have set the trap in the first place, you damn bastard.
And if I can expound on what you just said, did not you devils bring most of the diseases over here anyway, man?
Huh?
You fucking devils, man. Y'all always trying to point the finger at Jake, but the whole time it be you fucking filthy bastards, man. Excuse my French, man, but I'm sick and tired of you damn Edomites, man.
Right. And and I was Google searching like where the syphilis come from. It said like it's basically like a study. Like it actually comes from like men having sex with cattle, so like sheeps and lambs and cows and stuff like that. And who was the biggest bestiality man on the planet?
Right.
Who's the beast man? Esau. And next to them is who? Ham. You know. So a lot of those diseases came from you Edomites, and this is why the law, statutes, and commandments is so important, because sin is what? Death. Right? It's transgression against the law. That's breaking the law. Alright? That's why Yahweh Bashmiel Shah told you not to do those things. That's what comes from it. And that's the judgment. You know, because you saw the Jake, they asked him to make a fist. He couldn't even do it. You know, imagine you can't even make a fist. What the hell? You can't even like how can you live like that? Alright? So verse 10. And it reads, never trust thy enemy, for like his iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Right? So God said you ain't supposed to trust your enemy. You can't trust these damn devils, man. Okay? You can't trust them with nothing. Don't trust them with food, your life. I mean, the only reason why we even eat this damn food is because we have to.
Right.
You know? Because even from that time, like the medicine, so like Esau, like, okay, I'm finna get these niggas a different way. I'm finna poison the water. I'm finna poison the food. I'm finna poison the air. I'm finna introduce crack cocaine, heroin. I'm finna do all these different things. Since they don't want to come to us, we gonna bring it to them. You know, they don't want to come to us for help and medical treatment. We gonna put the drugs in the neighborhood. Okay, you know these devils are very, very petty, man. You know, because they do any and everything to try to get you. So you gotta know the type of demons that you're around. These people are literally Satan in the flesh. You know, and you have to treat them as such. Don't be bashful. You have to treat them as such. Like you are a fucking devil. Alright? Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner, and who is defiled with him in the sin, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. The enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance, right? Hey, and shit, we've seen it. That movie, Straight Outta Compton. You know, I think his name was Jerry Keller, supposed to be helping Easy. You know, he was acting like he was his friend, but you know, come to find out that he was taking the majority of his money. Okay, so yeah, that's how they do. This is how a snake does. You know, a snake is more effective when you don't see him coming. You know, he uses camouflage and deceit and deception. You know, just like get closer to you, get closer to you, get closer to you. Before you know it, you in his damn stomach. You know, when he strike you, is pretty much 100%. Okay, because he ain't gonna strike you unless you know he can get you. You know, but he moves inch by inch by inch by inch to get you. You can't never let him get close to you.
Yeah, and that, I mean, you know, to go a little bit further as far as Jake is concerned, like that man was at the time was the only living survivor, but that showed mercy. You know, that the Lord had mercy for us. You know, because by right, just like when we had to get vaccinated for school as a kid and all that, you know, the Lord showed us mercy, man, and none of that had any adverse effects on us as kids growing up. You know what I mean? Because your parents, your mother and father didn't know what the hell they were shooting you up with. You know, they just told you, oh, you got to do this so your kid can go to public school. You know, I mean, they didn't look into anything. It was like, oh, okay, so they trusted them. You know, that these school nurses and what have you knew what they were doing. You know, so yeah, you know.
That's right, man. Shit's lucky, bro. Like you lucky, man. You could retarded.
Yeah, autism, all that kind of stuff.
Handicaps. You know, like all type of things. You know, Jake got what? Natural ADD.
Yeah. I got a quick little testimony. I remember when I was in 4th grade, I was making straight A's and shit like that. And I remember I went to the doctor and I forgot what it's called, something HPV or some shit. I remember they had gave me that shot. And when I had went into 5th grade, and my grades was, I was fucking up. You know, my parents getting mad at me and shit, and then my mom took me to talk to a damn Edomite doctor and shit. The bitch tried to say that I had autism and shit. I'm like, wow, man. And now that I think about it, you know, we go into these things right here, man. Yeah, these devils do shoot us up with shit that can take a toll on Jake, man. And you know, but that's Esau for you. I got a quick precept. Okay. Revelation 6 and 4. This is Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given to him a great sword. That's right. And this red horse is going into you Edomites, man. Okay? Because you did take peace from the earth, and you are living by that sword, man. Because that's why the scriptures say there was given to him a great sword. And that syphilis shot, man, that's one of your swords, man. Because guess what? Jake didn't die right then and there, but over a course of years, he died through the effects of that poison, man. Okay, that's why the scripture is likening you unto a serpent, okay? Because you are that death adder, man. Okay, once an adder or a viper bites somebody, okay, it doesn't. They don't die right then and there. The poison seeps in and get them over a course of time, and that's exactly what you devils did, man. And that was a planned action, man. You was murdering Jake, man. That's why I said giving to him a great sword. Let me get it. I got another one. Second Thessalonians 2 and 3. Make it quick. And the reason it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and let the man of sin be revealed, and the son of perdition. Right. Who's that man of sin? You Edomites, man. Okay, because y'all are literally adverse to everything the Heavenly Father set up to be righteous, okay? And when it says the son of perdition, meaning y'all gonna go into destruction. After 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, y'all gonna be destroyed, man. Okay? Because at the end of the day, we fell away already, but we are still here, but hey, we are coming back into our heritage, though, right? And one more, Isaiah 47. Because hey, we live in a period where the devil is being exposed. Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind the mills, uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg, uncover thy thigh. Pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen, and I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. And right, and this place, Babylon, aka America, is in a state of confusion. Because look what's going on here. You got man on man, woman on woman, man on dog. You know, this place is a bunch of confusion, man. Okay, and when it says the daughter of the Chaldeans, what was the Chaldeans known for? They was known for their witchcraft and their sorceries. Who practiced that? You Edomites, man. That Tuskegee project, that was sorcery, man, and witchcraft. But when it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, hey, the Lord exposing y'all, man, okay? And that nakedness, you know, can go into y'all sins, man, okay? Because y'all are literally being exposed for the true devils that y'all are. And yes, y'all are the Edomites of the Bible. Y'all don't want to claim to be the Edomites, but shit, y'all the only ones taking on the characteristics of the Edomites, man. Right? That's all I got.
Beautiful. Thanks,
If you don't mind. Right? This is book of Zechariah. Right? We'll start at the 4th verse.
What chapter?
11. Starting at 4. Right? This book of Zechariah, chapter 11, starting at the 4th verse. It says, thus said the Lord Yahweh, my God, feed the flock of the slaughter. So he's telling, you know, warn the people, tell the people, right? Who possesses, slay them, and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Right? So, you know, the doctor was like, oh, they don't know any better, or he was saying like, you know how they was experiment on the guys, you know, and the black people, you know, they don't take precautions like the white people. No, you was shooting them up and you knew it, okay, that they hold themselves not guilty. Oh, we didn't do anything wrong. We was just, you know, trying to see, you know, whatever, you know. No, that ain't how that works. That's wickedness, okay? And then I want to go to 2 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, right? For we are not ignorant of his devices. And you know, the water Yahweh Shem Yahushua for being in this truth, okay? Because back then, you know, this word wasn't out. But you know, now that Yahweh Shem Yahushua had grace on us and brought the truth out, you know, in 1969, 1970, you know, we know the difference, you know, us in this truth, okay? And like the scriptures say, least Satan should get an advantage of us. Satan, you know, if you're not in this truth, okay, knowing the true names of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, okay, and coming under these law, statutes, and commandments and having faith in Yahweh Shai, you know, Satan, you know, and Satan will get advantage of you because you don't know the truth. You don't know these scriptures. You don't know what thus saith the Lord, okay? For we are not ignorant of his devices. And who is the we? Those of us that study this knowledge, this truth, okay? We study the scriptures, and we had 100% truth, okay? Yahweh Shem Yahushua put the eyesight on our eyes, what we was talking about earlier, so we can see, okay? And that's all I had.
Beautiful. Yeah, because, I mean, all their devices encompass everything. It encompasses even their so-called their so-called medical background. They're all the things that they do medically is a device in and of itself. Brother, you had something?
Zechariah 1:15. It says, I am very displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. Right? You know, situations like this, you know, we were prophesied to, you know, be in captivity, you know, for our punishment, be in a lower state. But as you know, this devil is taking the advantage to, you know, forward our affliction by experimenting on us, putting us through various different, well, really just a bunch of experiments. This whole captivity, Esau's taking the opportunity to experiment on us in various different ways. Right. You know, with the food, with the, you know, just the environments that we live in, this situation here, as far as, you know, healthcare and everything like that. So, you know, this devil has, you know, forwarded our affliction here in this captivity just by, you know, taking it upon himself to say, hey, look, you know, we want to see, we want to test certain things out, and we're going to use these Negroes, you know, as our guinea pigs, as our lab rats, you know.
Almost to say, we can use them to find out how we can better ourselves, you know, what's not going to affect us. You know what I mean? Like, use Jake so that we can preserve our own families if we can use them to see what, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? So, you know, like the brother was reading earlier, because it was in the power of their hands to do it. Just like anything else while we're here in this captivity. You see? All right. Anybody else?
Habakkuk, the second chapter. Start at verse 24. Read, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgressed by one, he is a proud man, not to keep it at home. For enlarge his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heaping unto him all people. Right, so it's talking about the soul of Esau, the so-called white man. Hey, it's not upright in him. He is pure evil. Okay, right. He can't do right. That's how Yahweh Shai made him. Okay, and the faster you know that, the better off that you'll be. You know, but you still got Israelites, particularly the northern kingdom, that love this damn devil, man. They even worship him. Cesare Borgia. Alright? And if this ain't talking about Esau, I mean, like, who else heaping unto him all people? Alright? Because this whole country is what? A melting pot. See, like, Esau Edom want to have everybody in one spot, but then he want to be over everybody and tell everybody how to live and what the fuck to do. Okay? Let's go to show you how much of a damn devil he is. Because this whole Western way of living is pretty much controlled chaos. I mean, from everything to how you think, what you eat, how you deal with your woman. You know, this shit is wicked. It's out of order. Alright, verse 6, it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his, how long? And to him that laded himself with thick clay. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and of the city, and of all that dwell in it. Right? So yeah, because of the violence of the land, you're spoiling many nations, and particularly the nation that you're spoiling, most importantly, is who? The Israelites. Okay? Because even then, you're not supposed to be in other nations' land and trying to convince them to, it's like stealing the resources and all that. Okay, you just can't come in and do shit like that. But that Edomite spirit, I do whatever I want, what I want, when I can. Well, whenever I can. So kind. So you Edomites are going down, man. This is it. It's not getting no better. Okay, this is the end of this captivity, man. What do y'all rush more?
Right. Done.
And the note, keep all this in mind moving forward, especially this year when the devil makes his move. You understand that whatever he presents is two-faced.
Done.
Overall, just the positions, no value. To sit up there, they're just ignorant. They just, well, what's your job? Isn't your job, don't you take an oath for the people? You wear that white coat, what is that supposed to represent? Showing you that even in your opposition, you're still worthless. You're absolutely worthless. All your credentials mean nothing. He just admitted that he's a physician of no value. And that's just Esau in general. So keep all that moving forward with everything that's about to happen. Keep that in mind. Don't trust this man. Don't trust this man with whatever concoction he brings forth.
Right.
If I may add, like the brother was going into with the devil coming with that white coat. Hey, just as the scripture say, he come as a lamb, but in his mouth he speak it as a dragon. He gonna have that humble appearance, but within his heart is war, man. To take you jakes out. Because when he implement that final end all be all, that see up, and he got that mindset of, if I'm going down, all you niggas coming with me. That's Esau for you, man. A diabolical maniac.
Beautiful. We'll end on that note. Okay, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. To those of you who watched it, and like I said, if you got any more interest, you can go out there and search it out for yourself. All right, so we'll end the lesson right there, giving all praise to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, HaKadosh.
And double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. We'll see you all again, Lord willing, next week. All right, shalom.
Shalom.